Oh, you need to get staff here for the, so we've got the remit for the LGNZ. All right, are we back in open? And we're back. Great. Okay, counselors, let's see what we can get through before we break for lunch. We've got item 10.1. This is the remit for the LGNZ conference. This is on page 77 of your agenda. Now, Councillor Clarkson, I know that you spoke to this remit at the Zone 2 meeting. Would you like to give any commentary before we?
I'll make it really brief because I think as a council, we've already discussed this issue in relation to the lack of use of the most up-to-date data in relation to the census in particular and how that has implications for the way we deliver what is called fair representation. And the purpose of this remit really is to try and get a greater level of pressure on particularly, I guess, the Statistics New Zealand people, but more broadly within government, that we actually do address these issues in a timely fashion, because we have this prospect of already of making a decision based on very old data, and that old data might persist in our system for at least another several years. So that's, boil it down to that really, and that's the purpose of this remit, to try and progress this issue across the whole of local government New Zealand. Thank you.
All right, Councillor Nicol.
Imagine Councillor Clarkson wants to move it. I'll second it.
All right.
Madam Chair, just in the document, I see we haven't filled out the spot where who else supports it in LGNZ. Do we have that information?
So that's been supported by Zone 2.
Yeah, the whole of Zone 2, and in fact, I didn't even have to move or second this remit. The floor just took over after having presented it, and they moved and seconded. So it's all of Zone 2.
All right. So I've got a mover in Councillor Clarkson and a second in Jennifer Nicol that council approves the remit for submission to LGNZ for inclusion in the agenda for the AGM for 2024. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Next, we move on to item 10.2. This is in regard to the Martha Trust. This is on page 83 of your agenda. Kia ora. And we have Cheryl. Cheryl. Welcome, Cheryl. Would you like, I just need you to hit that one. There we go.
That one. Kia ora.
Anything you'd like to, I mean, you can take the paper as read. Anything that you'd like to highlight for councillors?
There's nothing new.
It's nothing to add.
Nothing to add.
Excuse me, just for councillors who might not know Cheryl, she's a senior staff member and the Resource Use Director. I've been here for quite some time and has a lot of experience dealing with complex matters, which includes gold mining matters, and has been involved with the consent requirements and aspects of the trust setup. Just wanted to introduce who she was.
This is just an administrative matter associated with the trust, and it's to provide for the trust not having to incur costs by undergoing an audit, which is a local government requirement.
All right, we've got a mover in Councillor Hughes, Councillor and Councillor Downard. Any further questions? Any comments? Nope. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Hey, thank you very much, Cheryl, for racing down here for that short and sweet thing. We appreciate it. Obviously, the paper was great. Okay, last item before we close. This is 10.3, page 88 on your agenda, the Health, Safety and Wellbeing Report for April 2024. And we have Marie. Welcome, Marie.
Thank you. So there's just I take the report as read, but a couple of items I'd like to just highlight is the Ports of Auckland CE prosecution or trial that's going on at the moment. We're interested across the country in that because it highlights the serious legal responsibilities of CEs. So looking to see what outcome that is. I'll provide a summary report back to council once that's concluded. Just on our performance in terms of incident reporting over the last year, you'll see that it's fairly consistent. We had 7 data points last year where we had quite high reporting, but we look to be trending in a similar direction at the moment. There is one incident I'll draw your attention to, which is at Regional Transport Centre, where an individual became angry on a bus, and that led to him going into the transport centre and breaking the screen at our cashiers. We've since done a review. The cashier, they were actually quite shaken by the event, so we needed some debriefing for them. They've had that, and we did a review of the whole security there, and are replacing the screens with a much safer design so that they can't be broken so easily. I just wanted to add that we are going to continue with the Wellbeing initiative. So that's a contract with the local shared services across councils. There's about 9 people in that collective agreement. The cost per annum is about $11.20 per person, and the gains that we have from that are greater ability for people to make good life choice decisions and being happier and healthier at work. That sort of concludes.
Nice. Hey, thank you for that, Marie. Much appreciated.
Happy to move.
We've
I'm
got
happy
a
to second.
mover and Councillor
But,
Downard
I'll
and a
just-
second and Councillor Nicol. Would you like to make a comment,
Yeah,
Councillor
just
Nicol?
mention, Marie, thank you for the report and appreciate the update on the transport centre issue. And obviously it's getting an upgrade at the moment, the whole building. So
Yes,
hopefully a lot of other health and safety fixes in there as well.
that's right.
Lastly, just on the wellbeing update, we did have Creative Waikato in here for the submissions, and they undertook an activity with us at Zone 2. And just think there might be some more opportunities there to work with them for the wellbeing aspect. So just something to mention. Thank you.
Councillor Graff.
Thanks. Just regarding the tragic incident in Dunedin, bus terminal, is there any reaction by council to review its safety procedures for young people, et cetera, at the terminals, et cetera?
Yes, there's quite a high presence of police in the area sometimes, depending, because this individual disappeared, and we knew that they were keep reappearing. But that particular one was a concern for staff that he would come back and continue with his behaviour. So we do have, so that's all closed in, so that they are safe behind screen. You know, nobody likes to put screens up like that, but they also have had blood splashed at them, people spitting at them, which is all quite dangerous.
Oh, sorry.
In regard to the attack, the murder down at Dunedin, is there any safety measures being incorporated for patronage for people using the transport system?
I would have
Any
to say
changes?
there's probably no specific changes. I think we've got as much as we can in place without going overboard with that either. Yeah, so yeah, it's
All right. Any other questions for Marie? If not, we have a mover and a seconder. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay. And that takes us to the end. Thank you very much, counselors. Thank you, staff. Thank you for all coming back in when we decided to persevere. I appreciate that. And thank you for counselors. Thank you for all you have done this week. It has been a long week in this chamber. And yeah, it seems like long set of months, really, but we've made it through, and I appreciate your presence. I appreciate your engagement. I appreciate that you bring your considered devotion to your communities and representing this region to the table here, and just want to acknowledge that before we close with a karakia.
Chair, sorry, that's got caught off guard. Ona hea mai te uru tapanui, te wātea, kia mama, te nākau, te tinana, te hinanaro, e te ara takatu, koe rā e rongo, e whakaria aki ke runga, kia tina, humiei, huiei, tai, kia.
Thank you very much, councillors. Meeting closed at 12:31 p.m.